Hello everyone! About a year ago I mentioned in the comments of one of my videos that I would like to make iceberg videos about all members of Malice Miser, and then I just didn't do it. I apologize to everybody who I disappointed by this, but now I decided to revisit this idea and I will try to make icebergs on all of the band's members. I already have iceberg videos on Mana and Gekt, so now I am making one about KLAHA. That's mostly because some time ago I rewrote his Wikipedia article, so a lot of info related to him is still freshly in my mind. Yeah, I'm a Wikipedia editor, if you didn't know this. Also, I think I might remake the Mana Iceberg video, just add more entries to it because I feel like it's a bit too short. Anyway, thank you to Haitani, Mumble Honey, Remelia, Big Body Igor and Canary Casey for supporting me on Patreon. Yes, this is the Canary Casey of the Canary Complex VK music project. Please go listen to his album A Whisper of Spring and his previous one, The Tragic Dance of the Dying Leaves. They are very cool. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. If you're watching this video, you probably know KLAHA as the third and last vocalist of the Visual Kei rock band Malice Miser, unless you stumbled upon this video randomly and decided to watch it. In the year 2000, Yuki, Malice Miser's bassist, invited KLAHA to provide vocals for the band's upcoming album Bara no Seido. They did not have a vocalist at this time. It's been only a year since Gekt's departure and Kami's death, so the band was just Yuki, Mana and Koji. KLAHA's first release with the band was the Shiroi single. He remained a session vocalist until Malice Miser's live at the Nippon Budokan in September 2000 when he became an official member of the band. He was a vocalist on the band's last three singles, Gardenia, Beast of Blood and Garnet, before their disbandment in December 2001. He then started a solo career, which we will talk about later. After a live appearance in April 2004, KLAHA's releases and performances stopped without explanation. It is presumed he permanently retired from public life. I have a 25-minute long video in which I debunk some of the rumors regarding KLAHA's disappearance. It is titled What Happened to KLAHA, Debunking the Rumors, and I encourage you to give it a watch if you're interested. I will bring up a few of the theories in this video as well, but in that video I go into more details and do a deep dive into what was really going on back then. KLAHA's birthday is May 3rd. Some people claim that he was born in the year 1970, and that's what his Wikipedia page used to say, and also his Apple Music profile says this as well. However, this is most likely just a speculation and his year of birth was never officially revealed by him or anybody associated with him. That being said, it is probably somewhere around 1970. KLAHA came from the city of Osaka, located in the Kansai region of southern Japan. This is also the place where he took first steps in making music, which we will talk about later. Alex Vandra is a YouTuber making content related to Visual Kei and a prominent member of the Malice Miser community. She is known for her love of KLAHA and is a self-described KLAHA enthusiast. I don't like reusing entries and content from my previous videos, but I feel like this video would be very incomplete if it didn't include Alex Vandra's video message from my new Malice Miser Iceberg video. Even if you've seen that iceberg recently, I'll still encourage you not to skip this part, as Alex Vandra brings up some additional KLAHA trivia that I won't be mentioning in this video. Anyway, here it is.
Hello everyone, if you don't know who I am, my name is Alex Vandria. I am a content creator here on YouTube, but also on TikTok and Instagram. I make Visual Kei content and Lolita fashion content. If you can't tell, I have quite the affinity for one band in particular, but I do occasionally talk about other bands. My niche is just specifically Malice Miser. I think I'm mostly well known for my love for KLAHA. He is my honmei. I love him very dearly. The main reason being is that I really like shy men. It's just the kind of person that I am personally attracted to. KLAHA is a very sweet person. He is kind of just like the perfect like male wife husband material. Loves cleaning, very handsome, and of course I absolutely adore his voice. He has one of the most unique voices. It really fits so well for the third era of Malice Miser. With that dark and gloomy, elegant style, he just fits in so well. And I really feel like the four of them were a perfect match for each other for what they were going for. My favorite song from the KLAHA era would probably be Mayonaka, but I also really love Shiori and Kagami and Ginso Rakuen and Beast of Blood and Garnet and Gardenia. I don't know. I love them all. It's really hard to pick, but if I really had to pick one, it'd probably be Mayonaka. I also really love KLAHA's solo music and also his previous band before he joined Malice Miser, Pride of Mind. I do want to say that KLAHA's maxi single Amaru-chan is available on iTunes and I believe a couple other music platforms. So if you do have the means, listen or purchase to his solo music, I highly recommend it. They also have it on YouTube too. They don't have his other albums, Setsubo and Nostal Lab, unfortunately. So I do urge you to please go listen to his solo music. Please go listen to it. Please support his solo music, even though he's not around anymore. I'm sure that he will notice that and see you. So please. Also, did you know that Setsubo, the last mini album that he put out, was actually supposed to be a trilogy? So he was supposed to have 2 more of those mini albums coming out later on, I guess, but we never got that. He did say that he was going to make more Malice Miser styled music. His fans were requesting it so much from him. He was going to feed us because he cares about us. He cares about our feelings and what we want from him. I don't think the fan base gave him enough recognition for his efforts. So we can do that now. We should do that now. Please support his solo music. It's his project, his work. He composed everything. He did the lyrics, of course. Please support him. I beg you, please support his music so he can be noticed again. But anyways, I'm done ranting, so bye-bye.
Following Malice Miser's disbandment, KLAHA decided to start a solo career. He drastically changed his image, dropping Malice Miser's gothic aesthetic and sound in favor of a light, sentimental pop music, and billing himself as a pop artist. In December 2002, he released a full-length album titled Nostal Lab, short for Nostalgic Laboratory, followed by the single Martian in 2003. Both of those releases were accompanied by live tours. In 2004, he released an EP titled Setsubo. On multiple occasions, Mana has stated that he tried to reach out to KLAHA but had no success in doing so. In an April 29, 2017 Twitter post, Mana wrote, "The other day I got a question about KLAHA, but he vanished after his solo career. I tried various ways to get in touch with him afterwards, but his whereabouts are unknown. You might think I don't want to talk about him, but there's just too little information. I hope one day we can meet again. He perfectly expressed Barano Seido. He's the best." This is an automatic Twitter translation, by the way, so you know it's a bit awkward. Then in August, I'm waiting for information about KLAHA. It's Malice Miser's 25th anniversary after all. I really want to see him again after so long. It's kinda lonely not being able to get in touch with the members. Yesterday I was talking about this with a certain red person. I really want to hear that voice again after so long. I'm waiting for any info. In an interview for the Barks website in 2018, Mana said that he wanted to invite KLAHA to participate in Malice Miser's Deep Sanctuary reunion, but again couldn't get in touch with him. As you might have noticed, KLAHA's Martian single has been made available on some streaming services in 2017. Some thought that this is a sign that KLAHA is not done with his music career yet, but actually he most likely had nothing to do with this. This was probably just a case of a company that has the rights to his music randomly deciding to upload some of his catalog. Pride of Mind was a new wave band that KLAHA was a vocalist and lyricist of before Malice Miser. He formed it in either February or December 1992 with one of his former bandmates, Atsushi Fukuyama. The band released a few demo tapes and a full-length album in 1995. KLAHA left the band in 1996. Fukuyama attempted to continue the band by bringing in Yusuke Goto, better known as Dada of Velvet Eden, but they would release only one demo and disband the same year. Masaki Haruna is alleged to be KLAHA's real name, as this is what he went by while in Pride of Mind. It is not 100% certain that it's his real name, but I think it's safe to assume that it is. One of the most popular rumors regarding KLAHA was that he emigrated to the United States and was working as a teacher there. This rumor started on Facebook in 2011. According to a post by English Academy in Virginia, KLAHA was their etiquette teacher, whatever an etiquette teacher is. He had a transgender spouse whom he married in 2009. The English Academy even said that KLAHA won the Kennedy Center Stephen Sondheim Inspirational Teacher Award twice. And also they posted a photo of Gecht saying it's their writing/drama teacher. And can you imagine that there were people who actually believe this? The info about this was even added to KLAHA's Wikipedia page at some point. In his early life, KLAHA was interested in classical music, opera and French chansons. He enjoyed the works of classical composers like Frédéric Chopin and Piotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. In the 1990s, he gained a liking for artists such as Pet Shop Boys, Depeche Mode and Susumu Hirasawa. His favorite singer was Andrea Bocelli. Kahara, a character in the Fear and Hunger video game, is apparently modeled after KLAHA, and yeah, I can definitely see the resemblance. The game's author is a fan of Visual Kei. Cryptogram was KLAHA's official fan club during his solo career. According to the website Antique Birdcage, to join that fan club you needed to have a postal mailing address in Japan. It was not open to foreign members, which is unfortunate because KLAHA did have some foreign fans. In fact, according to Memento Mori at Scape forums, KLAHA met one of his overseas fans at a meet and greet and was very happy to see he had Western fans. KLAHA loves cats. He had two cats named Atla and Chopin. The cat in that one Beast of Blood picture is not one of them. Atla's name was short for Atlantis, and Chopin was, well, obviously named after the Polish composer Frédéric Chopin. User Memento Mori of Scape forums posted photos of KLAHA's cats, and Flowers of Night posted a page from the Cryptogram magazine where KLAHA wrote about his cats a bit. This is Google translated. Lately, thanks to Atlas' end-of-year selfish exercise, Chopin and I are feeling a little tired. It's been a contagious rule-breaking spree, but we've gradually gotten used to it, so even when Atla does something, Chopin and I just exchange glances and let it go. If you leave him alone when he wants to play a little, he will repeat his ultrasonic and destructive attacks. It would be nice if Chopin would play with Atla a little more, but he wants to stick to his sleep philosophy no matter what, so you can't count on him. That being said, I have a lot to do too, but for just 2 to 3 hours a day he goes over to where Chopin is sleeping and they sleep as if they are hugging each other. It's so cute, it makes me want to get a nosebleed. Seeing them like that, no matter how much trouble I'm in, I can't help but vow to love these ultra pretty angels to the end. When Chopin is engrossed in looking out the window, he pretends not to hear me no matter how much I call to him. But one time, the moment I muttered something like, "If something were to happen to me, what would happen to these kids?" Chopin turned around with a great force, came running up to me and, staring into my face, started to roll around for affection. When it's time for dinner, Chopin comes to me without making a single cry and stares at my face. When I tilt my head to the side asking, "What do you want?" Chopin imitates me and tilts his head in the same direction. Sazae-san was a manga series by Machiko Hasegawa, started in 1946. It focused on family dynamics of a woman named Sazae, and it was adapted into an anime. The Japanese see it as a nostalgic representation of traditional Japanese society. Something I found interesting is that there is a so-called Sazae-san syndrome, meaning a depressed mood on Sunday night after an episode of the Sazae-san anime has finished on television, reminding people that the weekend is coming to an end. Anyway, KLAHA was fond of the anime since he was a child. In 2017, Mana posted a photo of a park in autumn, and he got reminded that, if I understand correctly, KLAHA had a problem with saying or writing au revoir correctly, instead mispronouncing it as au revoir. Another rumor that has been circulating online is that KLAHA works as a mechanic at a tire shop. I wasn't able to trace back when and where the rumor started. I kinda like this theory though, just because of how mundane it is. But it is most likely fake. Real KLAHA is a Scape forums user claiming to be, well, literally Real KLAHA. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Real KLAHA joined the forums on March 2nd, 2023, and on that same day made a post titled "I'm back." It reads, "Hello, my name is Masaki Haruna, but most of you know me as KLAHA. You might be wondering why I disappeared in 2004. I had to do it because Mana was trying to get me, but let me explain. Some of you might know that the Shiroi single I was credited as 4th blood relative. Malice Miser had 3 official members back then, Mana, Kozi and Yuki. There were 4 of us in total. Did you notice anything weird? Kami was credited as eternal blood relative on all releases. This means that there should be 5 blood relatives in total, Kami, Mana, Koji, Yuki and me. So why are there only 4? The thing is, the term blood relative is way more serious than you might think. Me, Koji, Yuki and Kami are all blood relatives to Mana. He made us his blood relatives, basically making us into his slaves. Why do you think all Malice Miser members except Gecht and Mana didn't have successful solo careers? Shortly after Gecht had left the band, Mana started practicing black magic. By making us blood relatives, he imprisoned us in his sick world. When we went solo, Mana kept draining our energy and carried out various spells and curses to make us unsuccessful. That's why I only remained in contact with Koji and Yuki. We were trying to escape Mana's curse together. Unfortunately, Yuki and Koji gave up and accepted their fate as Mana's puppets. I did not. I decided to run as far away from Mana as I could. I've been living in solitude for the past 19 years. On multiple occasions, Mana was trying to lure me out of my hiding, but I remained strong. I got in contact with Gecht and Tetsu to warn them about the sick individual. This is why they declined participating in the Deep Sanctuary reunion. Why am I saying all of this on a random English forum? Because I know you guys are true Malice Miser fans and Mana can speak English, so I'm safe here. I am no longer afraid of Mana. This year is the year I'm coming back. Expect my new album to be released anytime soon. If this truly is KLAHA himself, then goddamn, his English is so good he might truly have been living in the US over the past years. Oh, and also he confirmed that the KLAHA message video with English subtitles is the true translation of what he said. But unfortunately it's been 2 years and a few months now, and unless everybody missed KLAHA's new album release, Real KLAHA is not really Real KLAHA. Real KLAHA made 2 more comments on the forum. One other thread where Kantavanda asked if Mana and KLAHA really were classically trained. No, I never received classical training, but I do understand why people think that I did. I even remember a post saying I'm an opera singer. I just enjoy old classical music like Chopin, etc. I even named my cat after him. As for Mana, I remember he told me his parents were music teachers and they played classical music for him all the time. Then under Alex Vandra's post asking if a photo of KLAHA she found was taken in 2006 as somebody claimed it was. This photo of me is not from 2006, as that's when I was on the run from Mana's black magic mind control. I don't recall when exactly it was taken, but I found it posted on a Russian site in February 2005. Also here with a credit to photo agency. My dearest real KLAHA, I hope you are doing well. Every day I listen to your music and I'm moved. You've changed my life in the most wonderful way possible. I'm so happy to see that you are here and well. I must admit I am your biggest fan. I've secretly been protecting you from Mana's dark magic from afar, but don't let him find out. Stay safe out there, real KLAHA. Mana is quite more dangerous these days. People think you're not real, but I think you are. Somewhere deep inside I know that it isn't a joke, but a sign of destiny. Mana wouldn't be hunting for you if you weren't real, right? No one chooses real for no reason. You will always be in my heart, real KLAHA, in the rain, forever and always, Seth. In an interview for Bark's Global Music Explorer, KLAHA talked about the meanings behind the lyrics to his songs on Nostra Lab album. For example, Escape with Transparent Wings is about how KLAHA of the past looks at himself now and how he wants to escape from his trapped inner self. Taiyo no Ori is about the Greek god Apollo. Red Room Garasu no Hana and Chameleon no Seppun tell a single story of a love affair. Red Room is written from the point of view of a man and Chameleon is from the POV of a woman. Penguin is about how KLAHA sees himself as small and uncertain while stepping into his solo career. Sayonara is about losing someone due to their death. I feel like I referenced this video quite often, but in the Anime Man's 2021 tour of Gex studio, you can see that Gex has a Malice Miser file magazine featuring KLAHA displayed on a shelf, meaning that Gex was keeping track of what the band was up to in those days. In 2019, Mana tweeted about how Moi Moi included KLAHA's original vocals in the chorus of their cover of Gardenia at the Deep Sanctuary 6th reunion. It's kinda hard to hear them, but once you know they're in there, you can clearly hear that there's more than one vocal in the chorus. So KLAHA is officially the only vocalist whose voice appeared at the Deep Sanctuary reunion, even if it was just an old recording. On March 2nd, 2010, user Volpe3Fuego started a thread on the Escape forums about an idea they had. I will be organizing a fan project for KLAHA in which I am hoping that each and every one of his fans takes part in. I would like to gather letters, artworks, poems, etc. and compile it all into one great book to someday give it to him. Well, that's pretty cute, right? Let's read further. I know it's crazy and a real long shot, but I've thought about it long and hard and have decided that in January 2011 I will be going to Japan myself to try and search for KLAHA. I want to bring about this fan project and get material from each and every one of his fans from all around the world and give it to him. I would like for him to see that he still has fans who are supporting him and thinking about him, hoping that one day a sign will show up telling us that he's okay. Like most of his fans, I too was hurt when I discovered that he didn't come back when he said he would. But I soon realized that there's obviously issues going on in his life that we're unaware of, and that's why I'll be venturing to Japan to find out, not for me, but for all of us. As fans, we have a right to know what happened. Even if he doesn't want to do music anymore and has moved on from that scene and business, it's okay with me as long as I can find out for myself on what has happened to KLAHA-san. Members of the forums were a little concerned about this post. In another comment, Volpe clarified, I have no intentions of stalking KLAHA whatsoever. I'm not going to go to places where he's assumed to be at. I'm not going to go around Japan searching for him, and I most definitely wasn't planning on showing up at his house. I wouldn't invite his personal space like that. Instead, I merely wanted to go to Japan to maybe post up some flyers, painted a mural or something like that to let KLAHA know that he's still thought and cared about by his fans. To reach out to him instead of searching around aimlessly for him. I just imagine KLAHA walking down a long road in Osaka with murals of his face all around him. About painting the mural, I wasn't planning on just going to some random spot and begin painting without permission, you know. Of course, I would want to let people know about it first and then get the proper permission to do something like that. Well, great thing that they're gonna do it legally. But January 2011 came and now it's been 15 years and there's been no updates to the Operation KLAHA search, so maybe they didn't paint that mural legally and are now in Japanese prison. Wait, this was posted on March 2nd, 2010. And that's exactly 13 years before the first real KLAHA post was made. And both of those accounts were also made on March 2nd. Could this be a coincidence? Yeah, probably. Posted on February 17th, 2025 on the Escape forums by Flowers of Night. It is a translation of an article from volume 1 of the Switch magazine dated February 1995, but likely conducted at the end of 1994. In the article, members of Malice Miser, Tetsu, Mana, Koji, Yuki and Kami answer some random questions in their usual funny way. Question number 21 reads: apart from your own bandmates, who would you like to play a session with? Yuki responded with Haruna-kun from Pride of Mind. This is probably the earliest KLAHA was ever publicly mentioned by the Malice Miser guys, and it tells us that his friendship with Yuki dated back to at least 1994. When KLAHA left Pride of Mind in 1996, he had no intentions to continue his music career. He talked about his thoughts at the time on the Malice Miser radio show in 2000. These fragments were translated by Flowers of Night. Previously I had been in another band besides Malice Miser. Their music, such passion. So, because I like music and because of that passion, I took part in their music. I really came to love it, and that feeling of love I was able to show it, to express it through, well, singing of course. And singing was something I loved to bits. That's how it was. I started out because I liked singing, but what about the other elements of music? Wasn't there more to it than what I was doing in that band? Those kinds of things are what I was thinking about at the time during that period. And so it ended up that I quit the band. Was it really that music was the only thing for me, or was I just choosing music because I wasn't good at anything else? That's what I thought, even though I hadn't really tried anything yet. Was it just that I couldn't do anything, so I did music? What else could I even do? I wanted to be confident in my choice to pursue music. I wanted time to think it over. I isolated myself from the environment I was in, cut off contact with my friends and acquaintances, and started over from zero. It was pretty lonely, yeah. Tough times, I had those too. Music, I was worried about the whole thing. How exactly was I supposed to go forward with it? At times I thought, at this rate, perhaps I'll never be able to sing again. Following KLAHA's departure from Pride of Mind, he modeled in at least one advertisement for a second-hand fashion shop named Ragtag. As I was making this video, I stumbled across some KLAHA photos that I don't think many of you have seen before. Thank you to Alex Vandre for posting some of them on Twitter. For example, this one, or this one of him as a baby, or this of him in a dress, or this of him with curly hair. Or this from a very cool Malice Miser photoshoot that I don't think many people have seen. KLAHA initially started his musical career as a keyboardist, but not much is known about his early career. He started it in the late 1980s or early 1990s in Osaka, and at some point he was in a band together with Atsushi Fukuyama, with whom he later started Pride of Mind. In 2012, Dojan users noticed that Haruna Masaki was credited as an author of a few photographs in the latest issues of the celebrity gossip magazine Friday. These photographs are of women in their underwear. They are not nude, but they're probably enough to get this video age restricted, so I'm not gonna show them in their entirety. You can clearly see KLAHA's speculated real name, Masaki Haruna, written with the same kanji characters he used while in Pride of Mind. For some reason, one of the girls is holding a cannon between her legs. KLAHA, my man, I don't know what to tell you, you're a bit of a freak. Hell, KLAHA even appeared in one of the photoshoots himself. Actually, all of this was just an April Fool's joke made by the Escape Forums moderator. These photos are edited, KLAHA's name was never on them, and they came from a Marshmallow 20 photo collection magazine. In the reviews of this magazine, people say that the photographer has no clue what sexy is. Under my What Happened to KLAHA video, one person left a very interesting comment, revealing something that I don't think anybody other than VK musicians and KLAHA's friends knew before. The comment was left by Kairu, now a vocalist of the band Zavak. He said that he is friends with people who knew KLAHA in Japan, including those that knew him before his time in Malice Miser, back when he was a bartender. He later provided more details, saying that KLAHA worked as a bartender in Tokyo's Shinjuku Nichome district. The district is popular within the local LGBTQ+ community, as for decades it housed a very significant number of gay bars. Kairu is a rather reliable source, as it is true that he is active and has friends in Japan's VK scene, but it is still second-hand information, so as usual we should take it with a grain of salt. And obviously it needs to be said that KLAHA working in an LGBTQ district, maybe even a gay bar, doesn't say anything about his sexual orientation. There obviously are non-LGBTQ people working at places like this. And that would be it for this video. I know I could have talked about a lot of other stuff, but I wanted to limit this to the most interesting things and most obscure things I was able to find. Once again, thank you to Haitani, Mumble Honey, Remilia, Big Body Igor and Canary Casey for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.